What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now, the recent news of a large number of WWE personnel testing positive for COVID-19 is shaking the wrestling industry, but as we'll see, no one, except perhaps Vince McMahon, should be really surprised. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at why the WWE has no one to blame but themselves. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Now, in case you missed our recent news video, let's take a quick look at a report from Pro Wrestling Sheet's Ryan Satin. He noted, Pro Wrestling Sheet has learned multiple people in WWE who've been at the Performance Center tested positive for COVID-19 this week, including in-ring talent. While it's unclear when they were tested exactly or how many of them were for wrestlers, sources tell us that at least 3 people who have been at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando received positive test results this week. Our sources say more testing will now be done by WWE's medical team before this week's television production to make sure the virus has not spread amongst talent/behind-the-scenes workers. Now, although it's too early to tell who has tested positive and how many people have, as the only person we know of right now is Renee Young, rumor has it the number could be high. At this point, any number is speculation, but there's no speculation as to why people have tested positive. While people may debate the severity of COVID-19, there's no denying the disease has caused a terrible number of deaths in a relatively short amount of time, and that social distancing was necessary in order to stop the disease from spreading even further. However, rumor has it that Vince McMahon saw the disease as an inconvenience rather than any type of concern. Indeed, while most of the United States was implementing quarantine procedures and shutting down public gatherings of 25 or more, the WWE was still working to hold WrestleMania 36 at the Raymond James Stadium. Not until 16th March did the WWE announce it was moving the 5th April event to the Performance Center. With the WWE moving to an audience-free venue, there were still concerns about wrestlers and WWE personnel getting infected. When The Miz reportedly showed up sick at a taping, wrestler Roman Reigns pulled out of WrestleMania, with Reigns later stating he was concerned of exposing his family, including his newborn twins, to the disease. At the time, the majority of wrestling promotions, with the exception of All Elite Wrestling, suspended operations. Now, the WWE chose to continue promoting its shows, and in a move questioned by a number of fans and pundits, the promotion laid off a number of wrestlers and furloughed employees, while other promotions continued paying its wrestlers. At one point, it appeared the WWE would be unable to run its shows at the Performance Center when Orange County, where the PC is located, decreed a shutdown for non-essential businesses. In a move that was seen as coincidentally convenient, on the same day that WWE was deemed an essential business, the American First Action Political Action Committee, which is chaired by WWE owner Vince McMahon's wife Linda, announced a total of $18.5 million in television advertisement spending in the Orlando and Tampa media markets. Did Vince McMahon pull some strings to get the WWE back in action while Florida officials felt it was best to quarantine? If you think McMahon did, it's another reason why he put profit first before his wrestlers' safety. Did the WWE do enough to protect its wrestlers and other personnel? To its credit, the WWE did employ sanitizing measures, including cleaning the Performance Center, replacing parts of the wrestling ring, using a germ-killing ultraviolet light, and applying a sanitizing agent that was supposed to eradicate the coronavirus for months. Well, apparently it didn't. The promotion also took wrestlers' temperatures and administered questionnaires asking if they were exposed to anyone with the disease. It should also be noted that there were rumors of wrestlers being allowed in even with the above normal temperatures. This was so that they could get filming done. However, the WWE ignored the chance to administer COVID-19 tests to its personnel. Comparing this to AEW, which tested everyone at its events for COVID-19 every time a show ran. Was the WWE trying to cut costs to do so? What could possibly motivate them to skip this important step? While the sanity procedures are good, the lack of COVID testing is unacceptable, as wrestlers wouldn't be housed in the performance center for long. They'd have to go and travel out to where they were exposed to the virus. Not only did the WWE fail to administer COVID tests, but it failed to keep its wrestlers informed. Several reports indicate wrestlers found out about a positive COVID test only when they read about it for themselves. That's possibly only when they were following Ryan Satin on Twitter. This had to be incredibly frustrating for anyone working in the company to think that the WWE thinks so poorly of them. Even when it was first reported that the first case of coronavirus was in the WWE made the same mistake of not keeping their wrestlers informed again during this new outbreak, as again, wrestlers had to find out about the outbreak on social media. Perhaps even worse is how the WWE has treated the family members and friends of wrestlers who attended television tapings as audience members. According to PW Insider, while those friends and family attending yesterday had their temperatures checked and signed waivers, there was a concern voiced by some today that unlike WWE staff and wrestlers who come into the building, WWE's medical personnel have no true way to know or trace who those friends and family attending the show have been around in the time leading up to yesterday's taping, and if they came back again for another taping, what they had been exposed to in between attending tapings. Since infected individuals do not always show symptoms, it's easy to see just how a small number of infected individuals could expose hundreds, if not thousands, of other people. Just think of anyone who has been exposed to an infected person traveling home and having contact with friends, family members, and strangers. Is it any wonder wrestlers and WWE workers are angry with the company's lack of precautionary measures? Let's also not forget that the WWE also implemented banning masks at television tapings, making the environment even more unsafe. Now, regardless of whether friends or family were present, the idea of banning masks at taping is completely irresponsible. In a statement to the Sportster, WWE said, "Fans have not been in attendance at WWE events since March 13th. Yesterday, a select number of friends and family were permitted to attend WWE's television production. These individuals were required to participate in medical screenings prior to entering the closed set at our training facility and were kept apart from in-ring performers and production personnel. Attendance was below 20% capacity and social distancing guidelines were adhered to with at least 6 feet between parties, thus face masks were not required." It's been said that even though they weren't required, WWE didn't want them on television, as it was rumored to muffle the sound of the crowd. Also, allegedly, Kevin Dunn told WWE fans, or family members and friends, that if you want to wear a mask, then you're not a fan. Additionally, Brian Alvarez stated that Dave Meltzer told him that WWE told fans that if you want to wear a mask, then stay at home. It's clear WWE really didn't want to see masks on their TV tapings. But again, it points to being highly irresponsible in doing so. I mean, we don't understand. WWE even sells face masks on the WWE shop. Could they have not distributed these out and start to promote them on the television tapings? Everyone would have loved to have seen an NXT superstar wear a Fiend mask or something similar. Had those audience members actually been wearing masks, perhaps it could have decreased the number of positive results. Again, it all points to the lack of precautionary measures. Vince McMahon still rules the WWE as he sees fit, with all decisions resting in him, whether it's storylines or the company's direction, as recall his incredibly rash firing of the company's co-presidents without consulting anyone in the corporate structure. The blame for the COVID results rests squarely on his shoulders, and he should pray that the number of infected individuals is low. McMahon's disregard for his wrestlers is nothing new, but this latest example of dismissing his wrestlers' safety is yet another reminder of the need for wrestlers to unionize or forge some other protective association. The WWE would have done well to have heeded the ancient proverb that states, "For they have sown the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind." The company's complete disdain for taking the proper protective measures have come back to haunt them, and its effects could impact the entire wrestling industry and, more importantly, a number of individuals' lives. But there you have it, guys, the WWE's sad state of affairs and the reason they brought it on themselves. But what do you think of this current situation? Do you think the only way to remedy this is to shut the WWE down for a number of weeks? In our opinion, that'd be the only solution, otherwise it's just going to get worse. But be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.